Welcome back to Satisfactory. This took a fair bit longer than I expected with setting up things in regards to the aluminium production, but finally here we are. First of all, let's just check the MAM. I have left that alone and we have the smart splitter analysis complete. Then the next one down here is the programmable splitter. That sounded interesting. That requires supercomputers. I don't have those. Also need supercomputers for the geothermal generator. We could get the power poles Mark III, but I don't think I'm going to bother with that. In the Quartz tree we could still get the radio signal scanning, which I don't need. I have scanned all the hard drives I can scan at the moment. Or we could get the radio control unit, which I do believe we are going to need, but that requires 200 alclad aluminium sheets, so we're going to leave that alone. As for the other trees, I believe, well, I could get the parachute, but I'm not going to use it. So we're almost done here, which is good. Let's head out to the train terminal. I have filled up my inventory with lots of various stuff that I know we are going to need. I might have to pause the recording to go back to base. That is one of the unfortunate things about doing outposts. You occasionally have to go back to base to get resources, but you can use a passenger train. That is as long as you have train stations, of course. But that has been one of the ways that I've done it so far. So this train here is the PAX train. Let's turn that off. And first of all, let's go out to the DCSC, which is the Desert Canyon, I think, southeast. That's the oil outpost. Let's close these and hop on the train. I built some very interesting train junctions or train station thingies there. So the reason why this has taken me so long is because of first of all building the trains. It's very repetitive, so I had to take some breaks, and I do like having the railroad going on top of the foundations, and I do like having the foundations logical. I don't know exactly why the train does that, but never mind. So I've built the foundations, the pillars, even built a little tiny bridge in there, or underpass. And here we are at the top of the railroad station or train station that is down there. Now, a fair warning, if you are prone to motion sickness or dizziness, look away, because this definitely makes you dizzy. Round and round we go. I will explain how to build this structure as well as soon as we're down there. So this is a very neat and compact way of getting a train down and up, for that matter, while having a gentle slope. So what you do is that you build kind of a pillar in the middle, and then you go on each of the sides. You go out 3 foundations and you build an 8x1 ramp. Then you move up to the next place. I just used ramps, 8x4 ramps at the middle while I was doing this. You do the same thing here, 3 out and an 8x1 ramp, and you stop at the middle. You can see where the track stop and where the track begins, and it's the same way all the way up. So it is not that difficult to build. It takes a bit of time, but when you're in the flow, it actually isn't at all that time consuming. So what have I done out here? Well, for the aluminium, we need several basic products. One of these is petroleum coke. So I am making petroleum coke at this outpost, where I have 2 refineries using the basic petroleum coke recipe and 2 refineries using the alternate recipe for heavy oil residue, which also produces some resin, which I am of course sending into that sink over here. Now this little outpost here, there are 2 normal oil nodes and there are 2 impure oil nodes, the ones that I have left. And while I'm here I can also show you this little neat trick. You can place the wall power poles on the fences. So that made this look a bit neater. I'm using a pump down here to get the oil up, and I haven't bothered connecting both of the oil extractors because we only need one. And I have the pipe system going underneath here, and here I'm just doing a direct connection from each of the refineries. They are each producing 40 fluid per minute, and this one is using 40 per minute, so that's 40 cubic meters. This produces a grand total of 240 petroleum coke per minute, which is more or less what we need. I might have to set up more trains. Notice that I am using platform number 2, and this platform is set to loading, and that was the issue with the train in the previous episode that just left the station. I hadn't put it to the unload button. It should look like this if you wanted to unload. It should look like this if you wanted to load. Now, let's head off to the Quartz outpost. Now, you have a few moments here before the train starts, so if you're quick enough, you can do that. Motion sickness warning again. The reason why I like this spiral structure is that it is very space efficient, and it doesn't require a lot of half ramps. It's also tentacly, which is a good thing in my series, and it looks really nice. It looks like I have 2 Tesla coils on each side of the station down there. And the railroad can continue towards the rocky desert area. I did some modifications to the Quartz station as well. Namely, number 1 is that the silica is no longer going back to base. It's going to the Aluminium refinery where it's needed, because silica is the second resource that we need to make aluminium, that is. I'll jump off here because I want to show you guys this. So this is the crossing that I have made here, and again, railroads are a bit finicky, so I don't remember the exact build order that you have to do this in, but when the train is coming up from the Aluminium outpost, it no longer has to go down to the roundabout, which is what it had to do in the past. Let's not get run over by a train, even though it doesn't really matter. It just goes directly into the station. And I have done the same thing on the exit of this station. So let's go over there quickly. I had to modify the track here slightly to get enough space. So there is a little bit more distance here. Because now you have the track going off that way if I want to go back to base, and I also have the track going on to this one here, so that I can send the trains down to the Aluminium outpost, which incidentally is our next stop. And as it so turned out, the 16 constructors that I made up there that are producing silica is exactly what I need for the setup that I'm going to do. Let's turn off the autopilot, send this off to the Red Swamp Aluminium, close these, and jump on the train. And for those of you who are not familiar with the area down here, Red Swamp or Red Forest, I think the Red... I don't remember the name of it. This place is a nightmare to work in. There are poison everywhere. There are loads of boss spiders. There are loads of boss spitters. So this area has been extensively time-consuming to work with. So if you're a newer player, do avoid this area unless you're very fond of combat or you don't mind dying a couple of times. I have actually managed to avoid dying, but only barely. One of those boss spiders almost killed me. So I have a ramp going out from the station again, and that is the silica train. And that one is using the first platform. So this one is full of silica. This one is almost full, no, it is full of petroleum coke, and this platform will be for the clad aluminium sheets when they are done. I'm not totally done with the layout of the station in terms of where I want to have things, but we'll get around to that. I also haven't built enough of the pillar foundations, so it looks a bit unsafe at the moment, but who cares? So we are going to do 2 setups of aluminium. I recommend doing one setup for your first attempt, for which you will need 6 refineries that I have here. And these refineries need to be set to Alumina solution. So let's go ahead and make sure that all of them are set to Alumina solution. Can remove a couple of these. Set the other ones as well to Alumina solution. There we go. So first, let us connect up these. As you can see, each of these require 70 bauxite and 100 water per minute. And they will produce 20 silica and 80 alumina solution each per minute. I've set up the water extractors down here, and I'm using a layout, or a loosely based layout, that I found on Total Eclipse's channel. I really like the foundation that are slightly underneath the water level. And then I have 3x3 squares where each of the water extractor pairs are inside. I believe we can just jump down there. So we need to do piping. So here we need 2 pipes to go up there. And I'm not sure if we should use the bottom level. No, I don't think I want to use the bottom level. I think I want to use the stackable pipelines, which means that these are going to be kind of irrelevant. But I still want them there because they are useful as guides for where I want to put the... what are they called? The junctions. That's what they're called. If my voice sound a bit weird, I do apologize. Why doesn't that one... Right, okay. Well, that one, I need to fix that, because I don't want... Why can't you put... That's weird. So you can put a pipeline support in there if you want to, but you can't put the stacks on top of it. Right. Anyways, there we are. So this should be on the middle. Good. Let's just check that the other one is on the middle as well. Yep. And putting down the foundations in that was not fun. It's really hard to see anything down in the water there. Proof of concept there. You can't see if you're actually snapping, so because the red moss or whatever it is kind of covering everything. So this took a few attempts. Now we want one of these to go out here. And let me just put down a pipeline support here. I don't know if I'm going to have them to get them to snap here. Okay, so I can't easily build them on top of one another. That's a shame. Let's put, yeah, clap clap. I'm sure Wally is very amused by that. This isn't perfect, but I'm not going to really, well, maybe I have to. Not all of these are perfect, but I have tried to get them as straight as possible. Let's see how the other ones are. It might just be that first one there. This one is also fairly straight. How about you? You're also fairly straight, so it is just this first one there. Okay, so what's the issue here? That one is a little bit too far off. Let's make sure that this one is straight. And then it's a matter of finding where this thing wants to be built. Okay, here we are. Very carefully move it so that it's as close to the corner as possible. And that's not the way to do it. There. And I think that should... Well, that didn't help at all. That made it worse. All right. Come on. I don't know if that's better. That is much better. So we want to have a pipeline junction cross here. Use C to get underneath. And we are going to get, well, it isn't straight, but yeah, whatever. So let's connect that to there. And then, trying to find the middle here isn't going to be easy. That's not on the middle. That is. So 2 out. And we can remove these 2. And then this one should connect up to that one. And we need a second one on top. We don't need this. Okay, That's actually something I could have done over there now that I think of it. I could have put down the junction like this. Then I can use vertical mode and connect it up to there. far away. That's better. Let's try that. I don't know if it'll work. No, it won't work at all. It will actually look go up and then down. So that's no use. Then connect. Oh, okay. Well then. I should remove these as well because it looks better with the regular. When you don't have a pipeline going there, I feel it looks better with the regular stackable conveyor. Then connect that to there. And that one to there. Now, this is going to be the tricky part. I think, I have no idea, but I think that that is the center of the foundation. Certainly looks like it is. Now to get this to work, you need, because as you can see that won't work, neither will, this will work, but this won't. This, and I wish that the game made that work instead of doing that. But this is how I'll have to do it. Does that? It somehow looks crooked. Let me go up and check. It is definitely crooked. How did that happen? Well, I needed to come in on... Oh, that's how that happened. Let's put a stackable conveyor pole there. And I guess we'll just put them here instead. Now I most likely have to go down there. Can you, game? Thank you. There. Will that work? Yes, it will. So this one to there, and this one to there. That looks much better. And then we remove these. I'm going to have to eye it. That's too close. That doesn't snap. I don't think that one's right either. That one is definitely right. Okay, so that one is right. Let's remove further foundations so that we get this line correct. I think this one is correct. Yep. I'm looking for the being in between those two. To remove that one as well. But I'm fairly certain that the correct spot for this is on the seam. No, it isn't. And you do need the pipeline to run all the way here. And there is a very good reason for that. Now let's put this into default. And then we drag the pipe along the route here. And one might think that it isn't necessary to drag it all the way, but it is. And then I want to have the pipeline junction cross down at the correct location. For each of these. So this is one way you can get them correctly aligned. I should have put this down before I did the... that's wrong. Before I did the pipelines. Now let's check that those are correct before we do anything else. Put them in vertical and connect up. That one is correct. That one is correct. That one is correct. That one is correct. I'm fairly certain these two first ones are correct. Yep, they are all correct. So the next thing we want to do then is to place junction crosses so that they align with the ones underneath. This, of course, is a bit of a finicky work, but you can align them with the boxes. I'm not sure what's going on here, though. That one looks... oh, that's what's going on there. The one underneath is one too far back. So there you can see the white lines, they align up when they're on top of one another. My headset is complaining bitterly about the battery running out, so I shall return shortly. There we go. I have to manually change the scene. And I realize that I am playing without music again. Whoa, 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 that's too loud. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, and now we need to do the next junction crosses. But we only need those for the three final ones, the topmost ones. And then we can remove those, because we don't need them. And we can remove these. And then it is time to connect up the pipes. We need to set them in vertical mode. And this is a bit finicky as well. There we are. All of the pipelines are now connected up. So what this now needs is bauxite. I will pause the recording while I connect up the pipes on the other side, and I shall be right back with you. And here we are. I also connected up the bauxite, which I hadn't done, and I didn't want to mess with that in the video. Basically, what I'm doing with the bauxite is that I have 2 normal nodes and 1 pure node. There is also an impure node here, but I really don't want to use impure nodes unless I have to, and in this specific case, I don't. So, there is 1 normal node, which I did show you guys in one of my exploration episodes in the previous series. And this belt here is going out to that one. I have overclocked that normal node with 1 power cell, so that it's running at 150%, which means that we're getting 180 bauxite in on this Mark III belt. I don't know if I have this thing straight, but it isn't really that important. Normally I would not bother with foundations in the wild, but I have done so here because this area is such a nightmare to work with that I just had to. Then we have this normal node here, which is also running at 150%, giving us another 180. That is a grand total of 360. And then we have a pure node here, which is running at 200%, which is giving us 480 bauxite, using 2 power cells. And that gives us a grand total of 840 bauxite. Divided by 2, that makes 420, which is incidentally exactly what 6 of the Alumina solution refineries require. Now, I'm going to bottom feed these refineries, and I thought I'd do that again off camera, but I wanted to show you a little tip for how to get these things, that is, the splitters, aligned for that specific purpose. Because I have no idea if this is a line behind here when I put it down, and if it is in the right angle. Well, now I would know, because now I can just wing it by placing it here, which would give me, as you can see, no, it doesn't give me. So there's the thing. So how do you do that? Well, you can clip the splitter into the floor up above. So you just make sure that the red arrow is out there, and then all of a sudden you get, well, yeah, there we go. No, that's to the refinery, I think. It did give me earlier. Yeah, there we go. So you get the line, and there we are. So now it's just a matter of repeating that for each of the refineries here. Clip it into the floor. Make sure you find the... it doesn't really want to cooperate. Should give us the line. Apparently it doesn't want to. I believe it is on that one. Not sure why it didn't want to give us the line there. But yeah, that's a tip for how to get that done. Now I think I'll connect up these while being off camera, because, well, actually no, let's connect them up on camera. There we go. Normally I don't like having things on the ground floor, but in this specific instance I have not much of a choice, and the reason for that is the height of this place here is not ideal, because if I put a belt at height 3, it's clipping into the floor, and I don't want that. So this belt then needs to go out here, and it should be on, I guess this is this angle. Yep. just place that conveyor pole there. Now, if I'm lucky, that is actually... I think I am lucky here. No. No, I'm not. What is... I had no intentions of doing that. What does this look like? Well, it gives us a squiggly, and that squiggly will have to suffice for this specific venture. Now, let's count. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we can connect from this side, because it's going to be correct either way. Since that is an input and not an output we're connecting it to. And there we have the bauxite coming in, and I hope that the splitting mechanism I did over there, where I should have explained that better. Let's go back there quickly. What's happening out here is the pure node with 480 is coming into a splitter, which then splits off on a Mark III belt, together with a Mark III belt, no, together with a Mark IV belt. And I think that should suffice, and then it just continues over here, and it goes together with the other 180, because that belt can contain 480. I wonder if I should just make that a Mark IV belt as well. I think I will, because it's going to split half and half anyways. That also, yeah, that is a Mark IV belt or lift. So there's a Mark III coming in, and there's a Mark III coming in here, and from there there is Mark IVs going out, and I believe that the splitting will work here. That splitter going into a merger, merging those two, and then to this merger, merging these two. The reason I'm having a merger up there is just because of the height difference. I'm not sure I need it. I don't want to take the risk of removing it, but I do think that that would make a correct angle. But let's not mess with that in case I end up having to redo everything. I can try that off camera. Now we want to connect up these to the refineries, of course, and the way we do that is by connecting a lift up there and taking it down here, and then we connect a belt to the lift, and we have bauxite coming in. Let's connect up the belt to all of these splitters here so that we have the splitters working. There we go, and then we can, well, we don't need a Mark IV lift. Each of them requires 70, so a Mark II lift will suffice. Same with the belt. And then we do the same here. It is a bit finicky to find the output up there because of all the pipes that are in the way, but as long as it works, that is the important thing. Come on, there we go, and like so. And finally, this one connects to there, and then that connects up there. So now all of the refineries up there are getting bauxite, and they are also getting water. Do note that they are not getting enough water, but we are going to revisit that. I need to do the same on the other side, and I believe I will do that also off camera. Let me just think here. Yeah. I think we will end the episode here. This will be the part 1. Getting up the basic. And this is the basic because we need the alumina solution first. So we have the alumina solution for 6 refineries working with a setup here. And in the next episode, I will have these connected up and we will move on to the refineries that are making the aluminium scrap. And then the foundries that will be making the aluminium ingots. And finally, after that, the, I believe, assemblers that appear to be encroaching other clearance. Let's go upstairs and deal with that. I think it is an assembler. Minerals. Oh, standard parts. Yes, making the alclad aluminium sheet. Now, as you can see, I need copper ingots for that. And before we end the episode, let's just take a quick look at the copper node. It is right nearby. I believe it should be even a pure one. 253 meters that direction. That will probably lead us into some horrible things because I haven't been there yet. And I don't have my gas mask with me. And again, you get to potentially see Caledorn die. I'm sure you will love that. Because I'm pretty certain there'll be spiders and crap here. 126 meters. There's definitely something out here. I would be shocked if there isn't. There's the node. Nothing here. That's surprising. Really? Okay, so this is a normal node, but that should be fine actually. We need... Oh, I haven't calculated that, but we need 22.5 times 6. Let's do a quick calculation on that. We need 135. So with a Mark II miner here and a little bit of overclocking, this should suffice. Let's grab this bacon. But yeah, there we are. I'm going to connect up that mine as well and have the copper coming into the base so that we can make the end product, which will be the alclad aluminium sheets. But of course we will have to make aluminium ingots before we get to the alclad aluminium sheets. But I will have everything ready for the next episode. So, if you have any questions or comments, do feel free to leave them in the comment section of the video. Or if you want to, you can join us in the Discord server, which you will find the link to in the description of this video as well. So thank you all so much for joining me in this part 1 of how to set up an aluminium, I guess, refinery / foundry / production line. And I will see you all in part 2.